Hilchos Yesodei haTorah Perek Yud, Chapter 10. Aleph, Kol Navi Shiyamid Lanu V'Yemer Sh'Hashem Shlochei Eri Tzarech Lasis Eis Ke'echad Ma'Isis Moshe Rabbeinu Ke'Isis Eliyahu V'Elisha Sheyesh B'hem Shinei Min Navi Shel Olam. Any Navi who stands up and tells us that Hashem has sent him does not have to prove himself by making wonders and miracles like Moshe did and Eliyahu or Elisha did, which they altered the natural order. The sign of the truth of his prophecy will be the fulfillment of his prediction of future events. How shall we recognize that a prophecy was not spoken by Hashem? Therefore, Hashem, Mrs. Atena, in Inrim Loi, Kralano Hayom, Hachayem, Asik Yitzbilu, Waknam Bechal, Imrim Loi, Imnaviata, Emmer Dvorm Hastim Lies, who Immer, one of Machagam Lewis, Ayavel Dvorov Imlayavo. I feel enough of the Rakot and Bidush for no Gesheker, and both Dvorov Kulim Yubineno. Now, if a person whose progress is in the service of Hashem makes him worthy of prophecy and claims to be a Navi, if he does not have the kavanah to diminish or add in Torah, but to serve Hashem through the mitzvahs of the Torah, we don't tell him split the sea or make tchias and mason and then we will believe you. Instead, we tell him, if you are a Navi, tell us what will happen in the future. He makes a statement, and we want to see if it's true. If he's going to see something which is off, even something minute, then we know he's lying. If his entire prophecy materializes, we consider him true Navi. We test him many times. All of the statements are true. He's considered a Navi Amos. Commissioner Shmuel v'Yeda Kol Yisrael Midan v'Ad Beersheva Kineman Shmuel Navi Hashem. All of Israel from Dan to Beersheva knew that Shmuel had been proven to be a Navi Hashem. Rambam asks, behold, the people who do kishuv and sorcery, they also predict the future. What difference is between them and a prophet? When it comes to these people that with kishuv or sorcery, some of the things materialize, some of the things don't materialize. Like it says, let the stargazers, the astrologers, and the diviners of what will happen in the months come and save you from what will come upon you. From what rather than from all that. As it says, he frustrates the omens of impostors and drives diviners mad. But a Navi, all his words are true. As it says, Hashem will not fall to the ground. Which it says, the prophet who has a dream may relate my dream, but he who receives my word shall speak words of truth. What is a chaff of the grain, declares Hashem. Claimer means to say, which means that the words of the sorcerers and dreamers are like a chaff that has been mixed with some grain, with the word of Hashem. Well, the word of Hashem was like a grain without any chaff at all. whatever is that, because of Viftia, Wamar Shaisna, the Vulim Shamadina, Maini, Vakis, and Umnas, and Machaz, and Navi, a deal like Henry Emes, Vainat, and Chich, and Maini, Vakis. It's Vishnimberly, Matso, Hamar, Bnei, Bide, Beish, Kagay, Mayel, Vemer. Van Omar Navi, Mikir Bacha Machecho. Almata Shina Navi, Emil Lano, Elidiacha, Lidiana, the Vulim Shamadis, Belam, Maseva, Baro, Lachamo. Shalom Kitzben, a field Chechiachim in Delay. Kishol Shal Delavida, Valchal Navi, Lidian Mikiming. To be able on Tvonim Hushim Navi, like Shiyasa Das, and Chas Yisif Mitzvah. Saying this, the Torah promises that a Navi will relate the truth about those matters for which the soothsayers give false predictions to the Goyim, so that the Yid will not need a sorcerer or diviner alike. As it states amongst you, there shall not be found anyone who passes the sun through fire. These nations listen to diviners and sorcerers. Hashem has not given you this law. Hashem will set up a prophet for your midst. We see from this that a Navi will arise, and the sole purpose of telling us the future events which will transpire in the world, whether there will be a plenty of famine, or war, or peace, and the like. He even will inform a particular individual regarding his needs. So, like, for example, Shaul lost an object. He went to the Navi to discover where it was. There are the type of things that a Navi will say. You will not come to found a new faith or add or withdraw mitzvah. Dal Divra Pranish Navi Imer Kadesh Imer Pleni Yomis Ishana Pleni Sudav Muhammad Kitz B'Dvar Melo Imle Yomdu Dvarav Imbazak Kashal Nuvasa. For Navi of retribution, which he says, let's say, so-and-so will die, or that year will be a year of famine. So if his words are not true, this does not nullify the validity of his prophecy. We don't say, we don't say he spoke and his words are not fulfilled. Maybe Hashem was slow to anger, abundant in kindness, or forgiving the evil. Like in the case of Nineveh. Or that retribution will be held, as in the case of Chizkiah, for a later time. But when it comes to something good, it doesn't materialize, so then we know what he said is he's not a Navi Emes. It's called Dvar Teva Shigzar Kel Afil Tanai Nechez. Hashem always, doesn't matter if it's a condition, always fulfills his taif. The only time Hashem retracted his word is in the time of Chorban Rishon. Hashem promised in the beginning that the tzaddik will not die without a shayim, and then he retracted his word. This is stated in Masechet Shabbos clearly. So how do you check the Navi? This is when it comes to things that he says good. So this is what Yirmiyah meant by his reply to Hananiah ben Azur when he was prophesying doom. When Hananiah was prophesying a glorious future. Tell Hananiah, really, your my thing, if it doesn't come true, it's done. It's not proven that I'm an Avishek over your thing. If you don't, the good, then you're going to be an Avishek. And like it says, it says here now, this word, as for the prophet who prophesies for help, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, it will be known that Hashem has truly sent a strophe. Hey, Navi sheheyed late Navi acher shu Navi arigu b'cheskas Navi v'ein z'ashin tzarech hakira. When a Navi proclaims that another individual is also a prophet, we accept the latter as a prophet without requiring any further investigation. Shemay sheheyed the Yeshuv v'minu b'yin kol Yisrael kedim shasa eisham. Again, when a Navi proclaims another individual is also a prophet, we accept the latter as a prophet without requiring any investigation. So after Moshe proclaimed that Yeshua was a prophet, all the Eden believed him before he performed any wonders. And the same is true for all generations. Novi sheneden the was to be minimum develop a machar pam ishid li novi boya hila patach levo ashal ashal achla v'harb novo asa shema enev emes. Once a prophet is made known as prophecy and his words have proven true time after time, or another prophet is proclaimed him a prophet, if he continues to the path of prophecies, it's forbidden to doubt him or to question the truth of his prophecy. V'asulu nasese yism midai v'leinia hilchim anasim elim shnemer v'sinasa shav leikechem kashen isisim v'masa shamra yishu shav kavinu yimayin ma'ached shizano b'yamin v'yidu kashem b'kibro v'leyaharu v'leyachshu achlo kin shnemer v'yidu kinavi ayabasechem. Establishing the authenticity of a prophet, it's forbidden to test him more than necessary. He may not continue to test him forever, as it is to not test Hashem as he tested him in Masa. So Hashem in our midst, rather once an individual is established as a Navi, we should believe in him and know that Hashem is in our midst. We should not doubt or question him. As implied by they shall know that a prophet was in their midst. Brich Rachamun the Simon, blessed who grants assistance on Yesodei haTorah. Hilchos Yesodei, this introduction of Hilchos Yesodei is B'chlal Achas Asher Mitzvos, Chamish Mitzvos Asiv, Shish Mitzvos Leisus Obzel Protein. They contain 11 mitzvahs, 5 positive commandments, and 6 negative commandments, and these are the mitzvahs. The dumbest B'drachov, to emulate his ways, L'tabik B'yedav, to cling to those who know him. Aim to love one's fellow Jew. To love converts. Not to hate one's Jewish brethren. To rebuke, not to embarrass. Not to oppress the unfortunate. Not to gossip. Not to take vengeance. Not to bear a grudge. The explanation of these mitzvahs is found in this Perek. Aleph. Deis harbish the Kol Echad V'Echad Mibnei Adam L'Zem Meshulim Mezur Cheikim Mimei B'Yeser. Each and every person possesses many character traits. Each trait is different and distant from the other. Yesh Adam Shu Bal Chema K'Yes Tamid. Every type of person is very wrathful. Is always angry. Yesh Adam Shu Datim Mishav V'Sodov Ene K'Yes Klal. V'Em Yiches Yiches K'As Ma'at B'Kam Hashanim. Even the other type of person was very, very calm. Doesn't get angry very fast. Even when he gets slightly angry, perhaps once during a period of several years. Person is a prideful man. Then you have somebody who's exceptionally humble. There's a man who's ruled by his appetite, and will never be satisfied from pursuing his desires. And you have people that are very pure in heart, does not desire even the little that the body needs. You have people that doesn't matter how much money they have, they're never satiated. This is like famous saying, the pasuk says, a lover of money never has a fill of money. Then you have people who are satisfied with even the little, which is not enough for his needs. He's not bothered to pursue and attain what he lacks. And you have somebody who's a miser, torments himself with hunger, and gathering his possessions close to himself. Some people splurge all the money they have. All of the traits follow the same pattern. For example, the overly elated and depressed, the stingy, the free-handed, the cruel, the soft-hearted, coward, the rash, and the like. Between each trait and the trait at the other extreme, there are intermediate points. each distant from the other. With regards to all the traits, a man has assumed from the beginning of his conception, in accordance to his bodily nature. And some are appropriate to a person's nature and will therefore be acquired more easily than other traits. Some traits he does not have from birth. Some he learned, he wasn't born with it. And this may have come as a result of his own thoughts, or because he heard that it was a proper trait for him which he ought to attain. He accustomed himself until it became a part of himself. The two extremes of each trait, which are at a distance from one another, do not reflect a proper path. It's not fitting that a man should behave in accordance with these extremes or teach them himself. He finds that his nature leans. Let me start again. The two extremes of each trait, which are at distance from another, do not reflect a proper path. It's not fitting for a man should behave in accordance with these extremes. If he finds that his nature leans towards one of the extremes, or adapts easily to it, if he has learned one of the extremes and acts accordingly, he should bring himself to what is proper and walk in the path of the good men. This is Derech HaYosher. The straight path is involved discovering the midpoint temperaments of each and every trait that man possesses with his personality. The first of the trait, which is middle from either of the extremes without being close to either or. לפיכך, ציור חכם השם שאדם שם דעש התמיד המשאר יסם, sorry, I just missed the place over here until the gate. Sorry. Therefore, the Chachamim said, instructed a man to evaluate his traits, calculate them, and to direct them along with the middle path so that it will be sound of the body. Should not be wrathful, easily angered, or be like the dead without feeling. Rather, you should adopt an intermediate course. She only lost things that he needs. Tzaddik eats to satiate his soul. Person should work for what he needs. Not to be too much of a kamtzen. Not to spurge your money. Give as much as stuff as you can. You can't you should not be overly elated and laugh excessively, nor be sad and depressed in the spirit. Rather, you should be quiet, happy at all times with a friendly countenance. This is the way the Chacham call them this. Every man who's treated is the middle path and equally balanced is called a wise man. Hey, Mishum medaktik al atzmi b'yeser v'yisrachik midei benis mahat l'tzad zeh nikr chassid. Person who carefully examines his behavior and therefore deviates slightly from the mean to either side is called a tzaddik, a chassid, pious. Ketzir, how so? Mishizrakin megev alev al kotz achar v'yashval ruach b'yeser nikr chassid v'zuyim yesek. One who shows pride and turns to the other extremes and carries himself lowly is called a pious. This is the quality of piety. However, if he separates himself from pride only to the extent that he reaches the mean and displays humility, he is called a wise. This is the quality of a wise. Well, there's this shard days. The pious of the early generations would bend their temperaments from the intermediate path towards either of the two extremes. Each day shamatnes kinega katsarchen. Each day shamatnes kinega katsarchen. So the flimisher said so when I'm no lachas bedracham. Elo benim em nekram atema yisharish never lachas bedrachav. Now, the pious of the early generations, like we said, would bend their temperament from the intermediate path towards either of the two extremes. For some traits they would veer towards the final extreme, for others towards the first extreme. This is referred to as the flimisher sadin, beyond the measure of the law. We are commanded to walk in these intermediate paths, and they are good and straight, as it says, you shall walk in his ways. Vov. Kach lamdu befirish mitzazu. This is Chacham taught the following explanation of this mitzvah. Mahu nikra chalan afa ata hayachalan. Mahu nikra achum afata yiracham. Mahu nikra kodesh afata yikodesh. So there's a Quran of him, the kel, the whole is, and I can even and a kapayim rachesa b'yesha tam the gibur rachesa kitzibin v'idiyah shein deracham teim yishram v'chay v'adol mahag asfer b'hen l'adam l'kechi. Just as it's called gracious, you shall be gracious. Just as he's called merciful, you shall be merciful. And just as he's called holy, you shall be holy. In a similar manner, the Nevi'im called Hashem by other titles, like he's slow to anger, abundant in kindness, etc. So they did this all to inform us that these are good and just paths. A person is obligated to accustom himself to these paths and to try to resemble him to the extent of his ability. How could one train himself to follow these temperaments to the extent that they become permanent fixtures of his personality? If one he should repeat and perform a third time the acts which conform to the standard of the middle road temperaments. Should do this constantly until these acts are easy for him to do the present any difficulty. These temperaments will become a fixed part of of his personality. This is called the Derech Hashem. He should live in the Rambam Hilchos Yesodei haTorah. Now, this is what Avram did, as it says, for I have known him so that he will command his descendants to keep the path of Hashem. When he follows his path, it brings benefit and blessing to himself. As it says, so that Hashem will bring him for Avram all that he promised. Hilchos Yesodei Perek Beis, Chapter 2. To those who are physically sick, the bitter tastes sweet, and the sweet tastes bitter. In the and some who are sick even desire and crave something which is not fit to eat. For example, let's say earth or charcoal. They hate healthy foods like bread and meat, all depending on how serious the sickness is. Those who are morally ill, desire and love bad traits, hate the good path, and are lazy to follow. Depending on sick they are, they find it exceedingly burdensome. Some the cheshach samim on the masig wasik lemar. Valeim nemar ism erkas yishel lechas mdache cheshach. Now, the Rabbi says, woe to those who call the bad good and the good bad, who take darkness to be light and light to be darkness, who take bitter to be sweet and sweet to be bitter. Concerning them, it says, those who leave the upright path to walk in the ways of darkness. The Rambam says, what's takana? Yuchid yitzach chacham shen rifer afarshes. Yirap acholim b'deis shalom and eisam atchez. You learn that we should go to the doctors to heal you. I'm not kidding b'deis rish lahem v'yinim chilchem yitzacham l'rap eisam aleim imrshleim b'chachma wusser evelim bo. Now those who recognize the bad traits and don't go to the wise to heal them. Hashem says, fools scorned wisdom and correction. How are they to be healed? A person who's a wrathful person, he has to train himself to feel no reaction even if he's beaten and cursed. He should follow this course of behavior for some time until the anger is uprooted from his heart. He should walk in it. So the Rambam gives you now tremendous advice. So we said somebody has anger, what should he do? Somebody, let's say, is full of pride. It should cause himself to experience much disgrace. He should sit to the lowest of places, dressed in like these rags, which shame the wearer, until the arrogance is uprooted from the heart, and he returns to the middle path, which is the proper path. When he returns to the middle path, he should walk in it the rest of his life. One should take a similar course with each of the other traits. A person who's swayed in the direction of one of the extremes should move in the direction of the opposite extreme and accustom himself to that for a long time until he has returned to the proper path, which is the midpoint of each and every temperament. Who gave belief in der hativ shi adam anu vad ala shaf ruach v'tiruch in muchal meid. There are temperaments with regard to which a man is forbidden to follow the middle path, that he should move away from one extreme to adopt the other. Amongst these is arrogance. If a man is only humble, he is not following the path, rather he must hold himself lowly and his spirit very unassuming. This is what it says about Meshach, very, very humble. Anybody who is arrogant, he's denying Hashem. It says somebody who is haughty, he forgets Hashem. It says, whoever is arrogant should be placed under a ban of ostracism. Anger is also an exceptionally bad quality. It is fitting and proper that one move away from it and adopt the opposite extreme. A person should train himself not to get angry even with things that he should get angry at. It's like his job is that he wants to instill a dread or a fear on his family or community, so they should do tshuva, so he should look, that's okay. Chazal tell us, somebody who gets angry, it's like he's sort of his person is very smart because angry is leaving. I know if he's neviashly, somebody who's angry is not life. That's why a person has to conduct himself. He doesn't get angry. And the tzaddik, this is how he acts. They don't get offended, they don't get ashamed. This is what the pasuk says. Those who love him are like the sun when it comes out in strength. One should always cultivate silence and refrain from speaking except with regards to matters of knowledge or things that are necessary for his physical welfare. It said that Rav, the student of Rebbe, never uttered an idle word in all his days. Which is the conversation that most people consist of. When it comes to bodily things, you should not speak too much. When you speak too much, maybe it brings to sin. It says the best thing is to keep quiet. This is speaking about Torah manners. A person should be brief but rich in content. This is what it says in the Gemara. A person should teach the Talmud to the point. It's a lot, but the small concept, it's foolishness. The dream comes with a multitude of subjects, the voice of the fool, multitudes of words. Silence is a safeguard for wisdom. One should not hasten to answer nor speak late. One should teach the students to be calm and without shouting. The words of the wise are heeded in tranquility. A person is forbidden to act in a smooth-tongued, alluring manner. You should not speak one thing outwardly and a thing in the heart. Rather, his inner and the outer should be the same. Cannot go ahead and start playing with people's minds, etc. Even for a good. Kate said, how so? Should not sell and say what's schlechten. And if we're made from honey or slaughter animals. Don't press somebody to eat by you and you know he doesn't want. Don't give him criticism if you know he's not going to take it. You should open casks supposedly for his friend, which he must open for sale in order to deceive him to thinking that he opened it for his honor. Prevent or utter a single word of deception or fraud. One should only have truth of speech, a proper spirit, and a heart pure from all deceit and trickery. One should neither be constantly laughing at a jester nor sad or depressed. This is what the Chacham say: jesting and lightheadedness accustom one to loneliness. They also directed that a man should not laugh without control, nor be sad or mournful, or receive everyone in a friendly manner. Should not be greedy, rushing for wealth and possession, or lazy and idle in his work. Bal ayin, ela. And the balayin table might basically you should not be so envious and learn a lot, and be involved in table. Basically, not true. The chelik is machlev. If leibal ktatel leibal kina, not to be bal machlekes or just leibal time leili the vachar kovet, not to be such a bal time they can go after kovet. Kachom chom kina bal time kovet sinas al do on the ilim. So the chacham saying for kovet, jealousy, lust, and honor remove a person from this world. Kolel shall davar yelecha b'nei shvachol de'abediyah. A person should always go in the middle path. It says make even the turning of your foot and make all your ways for you.